Virtual battle space to real-world terrain, story of Afghanistan. Virtual Battle Space 2 is the virtual military simulation developed by Boeing Interactive Australia Studios over the past 7 years. It is especially made to the real-world military armies like the such of the US Marine Corps or the Australian Defence Forces. And here we are seeing this virtual game engine and the just can to support just huge vast landscapes and terrains. And here we see sun somewhere on the almost over the horizon line. Here we see micro detail of this game engine. And we see the simulation doesn't seem to support, it lacks actually normal mapping, so that makes a little bit the shyness of the texture under of the some lighting not that great and some other things, but the real world militaries are not looking for the fancy graphics. Otherwise the real world military are looking for the complex scripting, huge vast landscape and all of the features what they are needed to the test the training programs to the militaries, armies and soldiers who are need to go to send to this real world location war zones. And here we're taking aerial to view shot over the landscape. Here we see the rivers. These rivers actually are not working. There is no working weather and there is because the simulation engine is not yet super, but in the future version, if the military will ask it to be special to work it will absolutely will find its way inside. And then we see quarter overs, and there we see long distance race of the view distance. It's important. We see at last 5-10 miles of the view distance in this simulation. It is much easier to the spot of the many things on the terrain, but still there is a lot of the maps hidden from our waiters. And then we go to Bacau East Timer. Here we see C-130 sitting, standing on the runway and waiting for going our flight, taking off, and here we see this green terrace of the East Timer, and here we see the soldier on the behind of the ramp, and he is just seeking here a patrol of the fly of this aeroplane of the local, the wheel also you see. And here we see this simulation seems to support of the free movement inside of the moving vehicle. Great feature, and this seems to be giving so much freedom of the sort of the features that my sort of the product lacks. Here we see not that dense of the forest and landscape, the forest here, and here we see some battleship to patrolize of the water of the local areas. The battleship here have the very great because these are islands of the independence got from the Indonesia, and so the Australian Defence Force is a peacekeeping here the areas to keep sure that none of the local movement or anything will harm us anymore, because the local policies and other things have been in the past of the 10 years very violent. And here we're taking again another shootout. I will see those of small houses again everywhere. And let's look at this, the micro details. There is the post, and we see the shadows of this simulation. The shadows are casted. Not that however the soft shadow, but enough good to cover the whole simulation, giving up the sorts of the small details. This have to have a lot of details of the landscape. And here we see taking off the shot onto some roadside, and we have see some of the dog and patrols of some Taliban, perhaps not however Taliban, and ouch, there is a huge explosion. There looked like some suicide bomb. Was it IED inside of the house, or was it inside actually to taking out that? Nobody knows. And then we saw the another map, perhaps the Ice Timer, and we see that those smaller characters or must be children. You see, look at his children are running towards to the road. What they're doing, and here we see the road, even the cars go on the right side of the and not going to the cross each other. Yes, it's quite controversial, this military simulation included children, but I'm pretty sure so far that they are not involved with any kind of the military activation. They're just only giving up the realistic. And here we see the chopper, some kind of the Chinook CH-47 is taking landing, and just to insertion point of the ADF, the ADF patrol of this area, seeking, looking for landmines, and just keeping an eye that there is nobody going to take any kind of the military. And another shootout on aerial showing up how the great and vast the terrains really are. As we see, it's not only include thousands and thousands square miles of the terrains this also, but it can just none of the else the military simulation come even close to the complex of this game. It not only cover of the small and the high areas, but it have the scripting engine, it have a lot of the different vehicles, it have so many opportunities to the military, to the training program, to the military soldier who are going to serve on some of the battle zone.